Good morning. It is 7:59 now, Laney Lane. It is 7:59. Good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. It's your friend James Shaw. Happy Friday. We are back and better than ever on this great Friday, day after we did our shift workshop. If you were at that, put an emoji in the chat to describe what you got from the shift workshop. Today's call is lessons from the shift workshop. So if most of you were on that, so I figured we could go through some quick lessons, some quick takeaways that you got from that, so that those that weren't with us would have an opportunity to get some learning in as well. So we're going to do that today. But before we do that, something good. Aaron Nelson, first on next question, first on something good. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So I just wanted to kind of throw a little shout out. We talked about like reviving old leads the other day, and I sent out a sunscreen mailer to all of my database and my geographic farm, and I got a call from an old lead yesterday that wants me to come next week to talk about listing their house. So I just wanted to do a little gratitude of that, like do the touches, reach all the people, and then also wanted to say today is the first day of August, and it's the first closing that I have out of four this month, and I will cap this month.
Let's
So do
go.
the things.
When's your anniversary?
Um, June 1st.
Okay, this is great. She's going to cap this month, get 10 months at a Hundo P. I mean, this is a good thing. Aaron Nelson, we're so proud of you. Well done. Keep it up. Kira Ford, good morning in the DF Dub.
Good morning, guys. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Dee who created the what was it, the
It's
playbook
yeah,
of
the
skip and
playbook on the listing workshops.
yes, I did it, guys, and I had people show up. I was so happy, but it's not always about the event, it's actually about the touches. But I just wanted to thank this community for pushing me to keep going and keep showing up, even though sometimes I didn't see other people showing up in my event last time, but this time they did. So I just want to shout out to Dee and say thank you and to this community. So, yeah.
It's a seller seminar. We did a Wednesday webinar on that. I'm dropping the link in the chat right now because that's really good, and I'm glad you're running. I even messaged you about it. I said, "Look at you running the play." So well done, Jean Marie. You get the last one. Then we got to get after. Oh no, I promised Carolyn. I'm sorry. We'll do Jean Marie, then we'll do Carolyn. One bonus. Go ahead, Jean Marie.
Happy birthday to you, James, and thank you
Thanks.
for 47 years, and thanks to your mom and dad. And I'm entering my seventh decade tomorrow, so I'm able to celebrate with my mom. And she's had so many health things since I moved back here. She's doing really well, and she's in the other room, so I can't, and she's shy. But it's so wonderful to be able to celebrate with your mom, and it kind of, yeah, mom and daughter relationships are
Ah,
really,
beautiful. Happy birthday to you tomorrow, Jean Marie.
yeah,
That's going to be
thanks so
great. I
much.
think I think you're wrong on the age, but cheers and happy birthday to you tomorrow. Then my great grandma, she'd have been 126 this year. Naomi's named after her. Her birthday is Sunday. Then my birthday's Monday. Look at that right in a row. Boom, 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 boom. Love it. Carolyn,
Thank you. Happy birthday, Jean Marie. There definitely was a typo on that birth certificate.
hmm
Yeah, so my something good is in the last 3 weeks, I've gotten come list to me calls. And, part of me is like, I don't deserve them because I haven't kept in touch like I should. But 30 years of client events, invitations, newsletters, and in their mind, I've always been their people, but like I didn't know because they never came to anything, they never responded. They are listening, and that was a big thing yesterday from the workshop was keep in touch. We are under communicating, and but just keep the faith. You are planting seeds, even if you don't, even if they don't respond, they're seeing you.
I mean, that is exactly what this is about that we talked about yesterday in the shift workshop, right, Carolyn? I mean, this is the whole concept of this 95% of your database doesn't need you, has no interest in what you're doing or the fact that you're selling houses or any of that kind of stuff. And 5% does. And that if you stay in flow with the 95, once the 95 becomes the 5, they'll call you, oh, happy day. So you do deserve it. You did deserve it because you've been adding value to them for years and years and years. And so then it wasn't a thought in their mind. But imagine how nice it is just to add value to them. That's the kind of person you are, by the way. You're not a pound the phones, who do you know from church or work? That's not you. And so to do that would not be authentic to you. And so then it wouldn't be effective. If it's not authentic, it's not effective. And so you have to stay authentic to yourself, which is I'm going to add value and I'm going to do these touches and I'm going to check in. And sure, the runway might be a little bit longer, but Carolyn, you got to eat today. And as Orly says, you got to eat in 2038 as well. So So you just want to stay in a flow and opportunity will come your way. I think sometimes what we do is we tend to try to push and force things in our business that are not authentic to ourselves. And again, if it's not authentic, it's not effective. And I want you to be effective. And in order for you to be effective, you have to be authentic. This is why we're having Anna Kruger come in on Wednesday of next week at 2 o'clock Eastern to do her no script sales method course because she's done with here, read this script word for word. She's done with that. And she wants to teach you how to truly connect with people in your own authentic way that's true to you. And when you do that, you get a better result. That class is free on Wednesday. That's our Wednesday webinar. Unlike most of our webinars, this one will be interactive. You can be on with Anna. You can give her specific questions that you want to review. So I would recommend that you get in that one. The link is in the chat. I'm putting it in both chats right now. Invite your office to come, get people to participate, and be in that Wednesday webinar so that, like Carolyn, when you are authentic to yourself, then good things will happen. That was part of our message yesterday in the Shift Workshop. We talked about a lot of stuff yesterday in that Shift Workshop. We looked at your mindset around it. We talked about your finances. We talked about your lead gen. We touched a little bit on lead follow-up. We spent a ton of time on pricing. We just did a lot in that mastermind yesterday, and I'd love to hear your lessons, your key takeaways, the things that impacted you in some way, something that had you, crossing your arms and putting your hand on your chin for a minute. Let's talk about it. Maria Sims out there driving in her fancy schmancy car. Good morning.
Good morning. Um, okay, so that was such a great class. I had to hop off to go to a listing appointment, but it like the piece that really just like was a dagger through the heart to me was they were talking about motivation and like tagging. Jessica mentioned that they started tagging motivation in their database, and it just really resonated with me. And someone brought up, the right sizing, downsizing, whatever, but how those are really surface level, and so if we can get from the surface level to the motivation and truly understand them and their why, then we're going to be a better provider to them. We're going to, we're never going to have to hunt for business because we're going to have, that ability to read people's motivation, which I just, saw in a total different, being in the business almost 20 years, I saw it in a total different picture yesterday. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What we talked about in that was, do you know the motivation of your top clients, and going looking for similarities or repeats, and then making sure your lead generation matches the most common motivations right now in your market. And when you do that, not the sources, but the most common motivations, when you do that, you just open yourself up to more opportunity in a market that has less opportunity. But because you're being purposeful about how you lead generate for it, you find more of it. Good job, Maria Sims. Orly, you hosted a big watch party at your place. I wanted to be there. How many did you have there at the Orly estate?
I think we had about 25 and it was
That's
a lot of
amazing.
fun and we went till like 8 o'clock at night. So
I love it.
we had a great
And you have
party.
house guests till today. But tell us about the big aha and takeaway for you guys.
So I got inspired with the conversation that we had about downsizing and right sizing. And I got inspired to do a postcard and social media post that if you just visualize Goldilocks eating her porridge, and it would read, are you going through the Goldilocks syndrome? Is your home too big or too small? Time to right size your home. Call me for a consultation.
It's really good. And see, postcards are your thing. I want one thing to hear is that Orly does postcards on a regular basis. It's not something she's just throwing at the wind to see if it works. It just gets in the rotation of what she already does, which was something we talked about in the workshop as well. Now, Inspire members, every single one of you has access to the workshop, even if you didn't register yesterday. You have access to it. It's in the portal. If you're not an Inspire member, you don't really have access to it right now. So take notes of what we talked about, unless you bought the registration yesterday. Dan Tamarkin, good morning.
Sorry, James there. Hey, good morning. James, that was such an excellent session. And I really, for everyone that has access to it, they need to see it again because there was so much good information there. And if you didn't see it, take this weekend to block out time for it. The biggest takeaway for me, James, is what Maria Sims said. I had never really thought about looking at my pipeline and associating their motivation with, why they were moving and then matching and then going back now. Then here's the biggest thing is, now that I've looked at the motivation, what's the messaging that I need to create to find more of that because I'm already finding it. I'm attracting that, those people with those motivations to myself. How can I be proactive? And what's the message to find more of that? And that was my big aha from yesterday. Thanks for bringing that up. It was
It's
great.
like it's like you're going and you're searching for the most common thing. You're setting yourself up to get even more opportunity by being purposeful about who you look for. It's really important. I'm going to bounce around in the chat, try to get some new people in that we don't hear from. Josephine Wilson, good morning.
Good morning and happy birthday.
Thanks.
So my biggest aha, not necessarily, although there was a ton of information, one of my ahas from yesterday was I was at Orly's house yesterday. Thank you, Orly. And I left there with such a full heart. Everybody was so welcoming. There was just a different feel. And I left there saying to myself, I have to get to the next event. And I'm going to try my hardest to get to advance. But just what a wonderful group of people. I mean, that I met yesterday, and I absolutely loved it. So, but there was a ton of good information as well.
I put the link for advance in the chat. We'd love to see you, Josephine. You come to our stuff, so we'd love to see you. I brought this up a little bit yesterday that, and I'm going to preach to the choir a little bit here, but when we do struggle, Josephine, when we're facing challenging times in our business, when we're getting frustrated, the thing we tend to do is we pull back, right? We withdraw, we stop reaching out, we isolate. When really that's when we need community most. So I love that you went and did it with Orly. And then we had 5 market centers that did watch parties as well. Authorine's Market Center did. Carrie Dobo's Market Center did. Those I don't remember the other 3. I apologize because I know you guys are on the call, but just off the top of my head, I don't recall. And I imagine that the Mary's Market Center did. Thank you, Mary. The hanging out only added to the thing. And sure, people probably didn't stay all day. And as you got toward the end, the audience was a little bit thinner. I get it, but the being together helps the learning increase. So Josephine, great share. Valerie Kilburn, good morning.
Oh gosh, what a segue. Well, Josephine, I found out, is my neighbor about 45 minutes north of me. So that was so cool. I was at Orly's also. You know what really I honed in on is the financial discussion, James. The deal is that if you're having a great year, you need to step back and need to look at what you're spending your money on.
Yeah.
As you said, your personal expenses first. What am I spending my money on? And then look at your business. And that just reminded me that no matter where you are in your goals, step back, take a look, make sure that you're spending your money wisely so that next year you can continue. I don't know if I explained that well, but
You totally did. We spent some time on looking at your finances. We said first thing you got to do is you go look at your personal expenses and then you make your cuts there first. You don't make the cuts to the business first because the business funds the personal. I'll have people, as an example, Valerie, I'll have people email me and say, I need to cut Inspire because I'm cutting my expenses. And I let them out. I don't ever bully people or say, what can we do or what is it going to take? I'm not that kind of person. I just say, okay. But in my mind, I'm going, you're cutting the wrong thing. What you need to cut is Paramount Plus and go to Starbucks less. And it's not forever. And you need to keep Inspire. Well, I'm not using it. Well, then start using it. Like if your business isn't where you want to be and you don't have enough money in the bank, then why don't you use the cheapest tool that exists in the industry to be able to help and support you and treat it like a podcast. Like Dan said, go back and listen to the shift workshop. Don't sit down and watch it. That sounds horrible. Who wants to sit down and watch that thing for 4 hours? I didn't even get a potty break. Go and just open the app and listen to it while you're driving around and walking around and doing your exercisings and all that kind of stuff. But make sure when you go cut, Valerie, in your expenses, cut the garbage that exists in your personal world. We all have it, me included. Go cut all that, then go into the business and finance it correctly. But go do it in that order.
and James, if you need to cut, maybe you should think about having coaching. And this is the best coaching I have ever had. So
Well, then
thank
get
you.
on this call because it's free.
I am.
Free
Thank you, sir.
99. And good
Thank you.
morning.
Hi, good morning, and happy birthday in advance.
Thanks.
Yesterday, just like every day, I come away with something either to think about or to immediately use. And I had a conversation yesterday afternoon with a seller that I've been talking to for a few years. And he's always trying to be practical And I said, you know what? Let's stop and talk about what is driving this family decision. What is the emotion around it? I just went straight out for what we talked about. It changed the trajectory of the conversation, and we now have a plan to move forward. So thank you.
That is what Anna Kruger taught us, and that's more of what she's going to do. See, you took a 5 minute session of that, and now you have an appointment because of it. That's
Exactly.
right. That
Exactly.
is that is taking stuff and putting it into action. I'm so proud of you. Paula,
Thank
good
you.
morning. Be careful. You're driving. Makes me nervous, Paula.
Okay, here I am.
We got you.
For me, I kind of dropped in and out because I was at work. But the part that I really needed to hear was the part on the financial. I had been wrestling with the decision of paying for a trip in October, and it told me, you know what? You'll have another time to go on another trip. Hold on to your money and use it in your business. And that to me was valid. That's the answer that I needed because I actually had been praying on that. I was like, because I didn't want to disappoint the other person. And so it's something I tend to do, but when I have other people that I think I'm disappointing, then I throw all that to the wind. But that was really profound for me, and it really helped me validate what I really needed to do and where I needed to go. And so now I think I'll be able to, I'll come to events instead.
It's you have to make the right decisions for you based on what you need right now, and you can always go on that trip another time. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate you. Kim Thomas, good morning.
Hey, good morning, James, and happy birthday again.
Thanks. It's not
So
even till Monday, y'all,
it's
but
not
I'll
until
take it now.
Monday.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
happy pre-birthday too.
Thank you.
So, James, I feel so relieved. Folks are talking about, like financially things that have to be cut at this time, but there were some activities that were not being purposeful in my business at this time that I had to cut. Like some things that were taken away from my ability to be focused, laser focused in this business. I had to cut those things. And guess what? I feel good. I feel relieved. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate you. Thomas, good morning.
Good morning. Sticky mute button. So I just read someone put it in the comments and it kind of fired me up because I thought about this when I first joined Inspire and I was like, I really can't afford another $100 a month. And I thought to myself, like, you really can't afford not to do it. When you get the playbooks, it's step by step and you're getting it from the top people in the industry across the country, people who are seeing the shift before we can over here in the Northeast. And then yesterday, thank you to Orly and Julie for running everything over there. You get together and you get with like-minded people, and when you're with that, it's in Think and Grow Rich, when there's more than one person talking about something, it's like a third mind is present, and that's what they call like the mastermind. And I think in these times when we're going towards a shift, we can't afford not to be in a group, especially like this, which is free. But in the Inspire group where you pay that extra, just go out one less time a month and you'll have it.
It's a true story. Thomas, I'm glad you're part of it. JJ, good morning.
Good morning, James. Thank you for the opportunity. There were many nuggets during the mastermind session yesterday. One of the things that was mentioned that has taken a lot of space in my brain is the fact that the mindset portion of dealing with the shift and how we need to leverage the right tools. There were two things that were mentioned. One being consistent, and two offering value. They work both hand in hand. And if one is missing, then you're just annoying. And if the other is missing, then you're just being anonymous. So I'm taking that to heart and really using this piece in order to keep loving on my database. Thank you.
You got it. Consistency without value is annoying. Value without consistency is anonymous. We need consistency and value. Trisha Dooley, get the last one.
Good morning, everyone. I found yesterday to be amazing for so many reasons. The financial piece was fantastic. As people already said, the right sizing mindset, which Orly, I listen to you so often. I just appreciate all your tidbits. It truly is a mindset. And just, going with that forward. And so very thankful. Let's see, I've been a member for less than a year. I've met my numbers that I did all of last year, so very thankful. And I got my ticket for advanced. I'm
I
super
saw that. That is
excited.
so great. I'm so glad. How many homes did you sell last year, Trisha?
Last year I sold 9.
9. And so this year you've already reached 9. Is that right?
I have. And I was only in production about half the year
Well, we
last.
don't need disclaimers. It's all good. But you've sold 9 this year. And then how many do you have pending?
I've got 9 pending.
9 pending. How many active listings do you have?
Right now I only have 3 active
That's
listings.
all right. That's all right. But how does that compare to the previous year where you sold 9 total?
It's just, I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. And I think a lot of it has to do with just, again, falling into that rhythm, getting up for this call, making this call every single day, taking advantage of everything that Inspire has to offer. One of the things I had to omit last year, unfortunately, was my coaching, which was really expensive. And Jack Smith, thank God for him and Divya, they're like, Trisha, you need to get on that Piff Shivit call and then you need to be inspired. And so it truly is the best $100 that I spend every single month. And I wouldn't be where I am today without it. So thank you all so very much.
I'm so proud of you. Inspired details are at jamesdshaw.com for like the 3 of you on this call who are not a member. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of the Shift Workshop. I trust it added value to you. Yes, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt today because I'm going to go work with Rich Carpentieri's ALC this afternoon. I'm going to put a jacket on and try to look fancy, y'all. So thank you for the comments about my shirt. I will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, James.
Bye.